Hello.
All right.
Start recording with MKC.
Okay. Now we're just waiting for the man. Okay. Let's go back. Okay. We're back. We are back. Season 5.
This guy.
All right,
I
low
am
key though.
probably
Low,
so loud.
yeah, they're probably. I think low key, like you're too loud. That is a little choppy on my end, but I don't know. Maybe it was picking up too much information.
He's hitting those high decibels.
Yeah, like I don't think you really should even be going that high. It all sounds
Yeah,
clear.
but
though.
but you know what's good as?
It's almost like we never left.
No, we were technically here the whole time. It's just you gotta keep it. Sometimes you gotta you gotta step away from the whole world. You gotta take a. It's like going to see. It's like you just gotta get away. You gotta log off.
But look what happened when we went away. The whole world went to hell. But now we're back. Watch how the world gets better.
That was crazy. You sound so much clearer now. What did you just do?
Absolutely nothing.
Are you just talking like clearer into your mic or something?
Probably.
I'm calmer now.
Oh yeah, you sound brilliant. Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah, this is a proper way to do a podcast. I just lay down in my bed and now we can just focus.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, what you guys been up to? In these last year and a half we've been off.
Yeah, it's been a while. I actually don't even know when we last posted. To be honest,
I feel like the last time we talked, I remember we spoke about E3. So what? And then E3 didn't even happen this year. I don't even think it happened.
True.
And did it happen last year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because COVID didn't happen until like beginning of this year.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then last year, I guess, because I remember we spoke about whatever happened at E3.
Yes. And then we were like, actually, I'm doing a double check here, and our last video, which was, this is going to be a little embarrassing, posted a year ago.
Yep.
And it was on January 16th, 2019. So okay, all right. It's like a year and a bit.
2 years. I mean, a few days before my birthday. Take that in.
So it's fresh. That was our Overwatch video. We were supposed to. I don't know what we were supposed to have next, but that doesn't include our. Because I think we have more. We have more things on the audio channel. Because we have like the E3 breakdown and stuff, right? The roundup and all that business.
Yeah.
But yeah, we haven't done a video in a while, but
we're back. So whatever we said we're gonna do, now is the time to do it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess we're back. To do we're gonna do a couple of podcasts and see where this leads to.
Yeah, it's a learning process. Day by day.
Yeah.
At least
little step.
Yeah, a little step in the right direction is what I say. So
yeah,
we're doing it.
But I don't know what else I've been up to. I've just been, like everyone, like a lot of people. Well, I've been work from home, so that's pretty much my life. I've
just been working. Period.
Mm-hmm. No days off for this one. Was it 25/8? 25/8. That's how much he's been working. Like he found an extra day.
He's clearly always on that hustle. He's on that true grind. We're not going to talk about what Kareem does, but if the audience is listening, I can give you these keywords. He's on that hustle. He's on that grind. Okay, so you can piece together on what he's doing. Yeah, whatever you think, it can be the good side, it can be the dark side, but you piece that together yourself.
Yo, I'm on these streets. You're always on these streets. Yo.
Yeah, he's always on those hours that he puts in.
Yo,
I'm just seeing beer drug dealer.
You're not supposed to say it.
So everybody's like, "Oh, so the man sells crack." Okay, I see it.
Yeah, if I see people Police coming to my house now, yo.
I mean, to be honest, I never really thought of Kareem to sell drugs, but ever since like this is him, his profile picture that we have for him on WhatsApp, I definitely think he sells drugs now.
Oh yeah, the Pootie Tang thing.
Yeah, I never really understood. I thought he looked okay. The first time I saw that photo, I was like, "Is that Shaggy?" But
I was like, this guy's some sort of like pimp. I'm like, yo, what is going on right now?
right.
And then I looked closely. So you did that? You did that on Facetune?
No, I don't remember how I did it, to be honest. I think it might have been Snapchat.
Oh, gotta put the filter on. Oh, well, if there's ever a time for a man to do a filter, it's to make him look more manly. So I'll allow you.
Okay. Just letting you know, it's not that I look feminine. It's that I'm already manly. I'm just adding more man on top of. Okay, never mind.
Oh gosh, but yeah, you know, with me, same old. I've just been working, but me and Kareem and my brother, we have a competition going on this year.
Oh,
About
what is it?
Yeah, so it's like, okay, so how does this work? So we split it up into categories where like if you beat a game that's like I think an hour or so, you get 1 point. If you beat a game that's 5 hours, you get 3 points, and then I think it's like 20 hours plus, you'll get like 10 points, right?
So wait, who's in this competition again?
Me, my brother, and Kareem.
So Kareem's losing. That's what you're telling.
Oh
me.
Yeah. See, because Marvin, you already know. You already know. But
watch when I come back and slap you all. You guys will be like, okay, where did this guy come
okay,
from?
so quick history lesson, because clearly if we have long-going fans on this podcast, you think you get to learn a little bit more about Kareem every single time. Kareem doesn't finish video games. Okay, that's my knowledge of this. Kareem will get.
It depends. It depends. I'll give it depends. Like if he's like if it's like a really close game where he's almost gonna finish it, then he'll finish it. But if it's like, yo, it's getting too frustrated, can't do nothing, he won't even move on. He'll just be like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah,
it's like, yo.
No, that's not. Hold on. To be fair,
defend yourself.
Fair.
Yeah, you get a chance.
Spider-Man I destroyed. That game I totally destroyed. That was my jam. I'm saying it from now. Spider-Man is the best game for PS4. I've said it. I laid it out. Okay.
You know what? Actually, what you're saying there is actually an important thing. I actually, this is just my quick note for that, is that I think while growing up, I used to play because I recently was at my parents' place and see the stack of video games that I had while growing up, being like, to look at the games, being like, I played this, like I played this, I played that, and knowing that I played this game and I've beaten this game, and it's like, one, I can say that I had more time, but I don't know, maybe in a way, maybe I have more time now, but it's like, I think currently in my state of life is that I want to play the games I want to beat is the games I love, versus while growing up, it's like, I kind of just beat anything because I was like, oh, I'll do that. I beat Motor Storm Pacific Rift, and it's like, I like driving. Yeah. I'm not the biggest driving game fan, but it's like I played that because I was like, oh, I just want, because at the time I was like, oh, I want to play something a little different than what I was currently playing. Versus now it's like I want to select the games that I want to play. So for instance, what I'm getting at when it comes to Kareem and Spider-Man, Kareem is a huge Spider-Man fan. So like Kareem to pass on a Spider-Man game would be like a shocker, you know?
Exactly. So but that's the thing. We could talk about the games that you didn't beat though, Kareem. Like did you beat hold on, did you beat Final Fantasy?
Which one?
15.
Nope.
Okay.
Because it's not like his style anymore. That game is, and I mean, that's a discussion we can probably get into in a little bit. But I think I know what Kareem. Anyway, what was the other one?
But did you buy Final Fantasy?
No, it was a gift.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, I know there's beer games that you bought or at least have, and you haven't even touched those games yet. Like,
I have a Tails game that's still wrapped up in the plastic.
Which one? Which one do you have that's wrapped up?
I have it down here actually. It's Tales of Zestiria.
So what you're saying, you just keep the wrapped up games beside your games that you're open?
Pretty much.
Oh my god, what is the Cream, you know about this? Do you know the most recent Tales game is?
Bursteria.
Burst. It's with a T, right? Like Bursteria.
No, B burst.
Okay. I heard two.
But the funny thing is, I have it.
Oh my
I have that
god.
too.
Have you beaten it?
Oh my lord.
I haven't played it either. I haven't
Wait, so okay.
it.
Well, here's the thing, though. This is another history lesson when it comes to the audience now to know about Kareem. This is just us talking about Kareem, to be honest. Kareem has so many video games, but while growing up, I always realized that Kareem never even bought any of them. It's because he was always just like, he just got them, like gifts and stuff. And I was just like, I want that privilege.
No, that's not true. That's not true. When I was younger, I did play a lot of games. I did beat a lot of games when I was younger. You can't even lie.
That's true.
Like, I could name bare games that I beat when I was younger.
See, but that's the opposite. But I was gonna say, that's like the opposite. Like when we were younger, we used to beat the most stupidest games. Like what possessed us to play these games? Like there are games where I wouldn't even touch with a 10-foot pole nowadays. But back when I was younger, we just had the attention span to play the stupidest games.
But that's the thing now, right? It's like I guess I don't know. This is for me personally, is that definitely I reached a point where the games I want to play is obviously the games I drive to play. Like I want to play it because I have an attention span for it. But also it's like games are way too expensive. I can't go out there and buy every single video game out. Like
that's a fact,
right? So like for instance, if there's 3 games coming out all at once, and all of them I want to play because I'm like, oh man, these all look amazing. To be honest, as much as I want to spend the money on all of them, I will have to choose the one that's grabbing me more and be like, I'll play this first and I'll have to just wait on the other 2. Versus when I was a kid or while growing up, it's like, man, I'll find a way to get all 3 at once and I'll try to juggle all 3 games at the same time.
Yeah.
You know? So
try to beat as much games. But I think also too back then, there were probably more good games back then than there were bad games because it's like, think about it, like Capcom was doing pretty good, right?
And companies back then were slapping back in the day. Oh yeah.
They would just put out like all the Kingdom Hearts games, obviously. Street Fighter was still good back then, right? I can't speak for what it is now. I don't even want to even see that nonsense, right? And it's just like they were just putting out quality games back then.
I know it's hard to really accept the gaming has changed so much, and especially that you know what I recently just learned, the gaming industry is making more money than the movie industry, and at one point that shocked me, but then it also doesn't shock me because I'm like, I definitely, because again, video games are so expensive and people will buy video games, right? People will buy consoles, people will buy video games, and it's also because people pirate movies more than they pirate video games.
Yeah, and then the turnaround time is pretty fast too for video games, right?
Yeah. Sorry, Kareem, what were you gonna say?
I was just saying that I can't remember what actor said it, but they said video games are now the future of storytelling and not movies.
Yeah, I agree. Like movies, right? I love cinema, and don't get me wrong, I'm a huge movie fan. But when it comes to, I think I have this thing personally, and I guess we should probably talk about something else after this. It's just that how, you know, from my perspective on cinema is that I like to a lot of times go into a movie that has like an escape, right? I don't want to go into. I'm not. This is me. I know there's people who is different than this, but I'm a person who want to go into a movie where I don't want it to feel so much like real life. I don't want to be super grounded, you know. I don't want to be, and I understand that. It's like, yeah, you want to see a movie that you can relate to, but to be honest, I want to see a movie that's so different. I want to see magic or monsters or like even Fast and the Furious of how ridiculous it's become now. It's still kind of, it's grounded in a way because it's still like real world, but it's so action oriented. I'm like, I can't do that. I can't move a missile with my hand.
The physics won't allow for that.
Exactly. But
like the laws of physics, like, what are you doing?
But that's what, and more video games do that now, and especially you can spend more time doing that. So like, it took so long before a really good Spider-Man movie to come around. That you had to definitely just live the life. If you wanted to be in love with Spider-Man, you had to play video games.
Yeah.
because
The games were where it's at. It was like the games were pretty good, right? So
yeah, like Spider-Man 2, the movie is good. It's a favorite, but the video game is amazing. So I don't know. That's just my
but
perspective on it.
but even with the movie industry, it's like they're not making. I don't know if they're filming or anything, but they're not releasing any movies. They're probably not filming any movies. But video games still march on, right? So it's just like, yeah, you can do that from home. So that industry is not really taking as much of a hit as the movie industry, right?
Yeah.
So it just goes to show like the flexibility that video games have over movies. That you can just still play them even while we're in a pandemic.
I love games. I'm never gonna stop playing video games. We've gotten friends to going into this like pandemic and people being at home and being bored. It's like people would ask, being like, "What do you do? What else do you do? Like aside from work, what else do you do?" I'm like, "I play video games." And they're like, "Aren't you not bored at home?" Like, no, because that's what I did in the first place. Gaming is a good pastime, and it's just so like it's what I do, and I've always fell in love with it. So I was like, "Why don't you try it?" You know? And then they would like pick up a game, and I was like, I don't know, insert game here, and they'll try, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is great." I'm like, "How much time have you spent in this?" They're like, "Yeah, tons of time now." I'm like, "Yeah, because it's just fun and relaxing. You're done stressing yourself out about the. Oh yeah, by the way, we can't say. There's a word we can't say. Just a thing.
What?
So it's called. We'll call it the big C. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All
I heard.
right. So don't say it. We'll just call it the big C. We'll call it Dragon Ball. Okay. No, Kakarot. It's from now on. It's called Kakarot. So everyone's so afraid of Kakarot that so they're like, "What am I gonna do? I can't face Kakarot." They're like, "No, wait, better. I'm gonna make it even cool. I can't beat Cell. Okay, we're calling it Cell.
Okay.
Cell sounds so much better. So
Yes,
like,
that was made in the lab, so it makes sense. Let's go.
Exactly. Yeah. Cell is so frightening. And Cell is just outside at his tournament. And it's like, don't go outside. You got to social distance yourself from Cell. And we're trying to find a way to beat Cell, but we don't have a way yet.
But the only way to beat Cell is like if Gohan could just ascend to Super Saiyan 2, which Gohan in this case would be, whatever we need to beat Cell. So we're just waiting for him to come out of the hyperbolic time chamber, and then we know it's a wrap.
Right? Right now we have Goku trying to fight Cell, and we know it's not going to happen. We watched Dragon Ball. We know what's happening. It's not working.
Yeah, Trunks already came from the future and told us that like it's not gonna work. It's like Goku's not gonna be able to beat Cell. So like in our timeline, we know that like Gohan is our only hope. When once he gets out of that hyperbolic time chamber, it's a wrap for Cell, and we can get back to living our lives.
I'm very proud of ourselves that we've made that connection. So from now on, it's called Cell, and we use Dragon Ball as a reference. This is great.
Except for the hyperbolic timetable thing, it's gonna be in real time and not one day.
But meanwhile, Cell is just out there just killing people and absorbing them.
Yeah, and he's transforming, and he's reached to a point of perfect Cell. So like, we're just all a little frightened, We're like, how are we gonna be perfect Cell?
Like even if you put it on CNN, it's showing like how much people Cell has killed, and it's just like, yo, this guy is snapping.
So, yeah, but gaming, gaming really is in my personal opinion, and I think more people should just like, for all the people who are like, oh, video games are like boring, or not boring, like, oh, it's just it's not a great pastime or something like that. Just try it. You never know. Because there's so many games now, and also there's so many different things to play, especially on like Steam, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, PlayStation. There's so many places to choose games now that like, I mean, you're gonna find something that you're gonna love.
Yeah, and I think
play on your phone, yo.
Exactly. Yeah. You can be a casual gamer. You can be a mobile gamer. Anything. There's just so much out there. Games are definitely evolved from when we were children.
Oh yeah, and I think
there's more choices.
I think the times have changed because like when we were kids, there was nothing like Fortnite or like any like PUBG or those like big like games that like literally everybody's playing, and to the point where like billions of people are like buying it and stuff like that. Like there was nothing like that when we were growing up. So it's like the next generation that like when they talk about games, there's not going to be all of this. Oh, why are you still playing games? It's like, oh, you're playing that? Yeah, my son plays it, and I play with him and stuff like that. So there's definitely going to be like a shift in like the way people see games.
Yeah.
Okay, but so it's wait, it's 2020, and apparently a couple months time because we're in September now, October, November,
Big times.
the new consoles drop. What you guys thoughts on? Let's start. Actually, let's go into Xbox first because we know about like PlayStation all that stuff. But let's just get your thoughts on like what do you guys think about Xbox and like the new Series S and the Series X and stuff like that.
Both. Okay, so here's the interesting thing about it is that because I technically now
Mm-hmm.
because I have an Xbox One, right? So it's like, will Marvin get an Xbox?
Yeah,
What's the
that's
new
what I
one?
was wondering.
Xbox, right? Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S. Wow, these names are so long. I mean, I
Just
didn't
call
see
it
anything.
Xbox.
Xbox X. I didn't see anything that convinced me to get it. I think I'm more inspired. Okay, I'm more of that. I like the look of them. I will say personally, if I have to say a look of an aesthetic of having something in my house, I like the look of Xbox more than I like the look of PlayStation. I personally don't think the PlayStation looks very good because it looks like a weird router.
So
It
yo, what
looks
do you
like
have? What do you
Kaiba.
exactly? What do you have against Kaiba's jacket? Like,
You're Kaiba, yo.
But I think just the look. But to be honest, I'm more of a fan of that they finally decided to make consoles without discs. So I was like pretty cool about that.
oh yeah,
That's a smart move.
digital only. But you hear about that though because they're doing the digital only, and apparently, I guess retailers like EB Games and stuff like that don't want to sell the digital only to people. They're selling more of the disc versions than the digital only because more digital onlys that go out pretty much makes them useless, right? So
Jeez.
yeah,
No one needs to go into EB Games anymore, to be honest, or GameStop.
it's like, yo, this game that I just bought for $70, I'd like to trade it in for $10 off a game. That's a thing of the past. But yeah, I don't
Right?
really
It's like, oh yeah, this game costs what's the value of this? Oh yeah, $4. It's like, no, never mind. It's okay.
To be honest, like that, as you guys were making fun of me before, I do have a lot of games, but guess what? You know what? Of my games are in disc based. The most of them I think are digital.
You have more digital games than disc?
Oh, way more digital.
Right?
Because I have like over 100 games on my PS4 for digital.
Oh,
And isn't it? And you have to admit, it's way more convenient because what you don't want to go searching around your house for a video game anymore. We've become.
It's not even about the convenience. It's actually I find it's way more money saving.
Yeah.
Unless I'm gonna go on like Facebook or go on the Facebook marketplace or Kijiji or whatever to find a specific game I'm looking for that cheap price, right? Or I could go on or I could go to the PSN store or whatever. Like I know 1 year on the PSN store, like one Boxing Day, they had a stupid deal. Like I got like 8 games for like the cost of $50.
And also like these like Xbox, definitely more on Xbox and PlayStation versus Nintendo. They have like PlayStation Plus and Xbox Game Pass, where you just all you do is just subscribe and you get like free games.
Yeah. Chris has Chris has PS now.
And there you go. You can just be like, oh, you just search through. You're like, oh, cool, this game is available right now. And you're like, all right, I'll play it. And you don't have to spend a single dime. All you have to do is just download it.
You see, I'm the exact opposite. I'll buy the digital, but I more prefer the box because I guess because I'm more of a collector. Like put it this way, if there was a physical like when you got a trophy, if they delivered a physical trophy to my house, I would be like, sweet. I would more appreciate that. I don't know why. I just love like hanging like trophies and stuff like that in my room. Like I don't.
Wait, I will say I am on the same boat of you where I do like the physical version of a game depending on the game though. So for instance, like I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. So if Final Fantasy was to drop like whatever their new game and it comes with like some sort of collector's edition or whatnot, I'll be like, I'll for sure buy it because that's different. It's it's that thing I like, but I can't like buy all the games physically anymore. You know?
Yeah, because and just the aesthetic, like if you owned all Final Fantasies, right, and you just like 1 to like 16, you could just be like, look at my collection. You just have it there,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't really want to go through the hassle of like, okay, open the disc. Oh, the disc is scratch. Oh, I can't play that or whatever. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's good to have the digital because you know that like it's gonna be there for life, right? But
Yeah.
like in terms of just a collector's item, that's the only value that I find now in having the physical copies of games.
What do you guys think
So,
about these prices for these consoles? Like the Xbox Series X, I think it's $599 here, $499 in the States.
oh well, Canada always gets screwed no matter what the price is. It's like, okay, $299 for the Series S, right? But that means it's three.
Wait, no, yeah, $399, right?
Yeah, so yeah, three.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be $399 in Canada. But like that's the thing. It's like whatever it costs. Like I know Americans would complain that like, oh, $4.99 is so much money. I'm like, yeah, but we're looking at $5.99. So I just as a Canadian, I've already blocked out price if it means anything. I'm like, whatever it costs, I'll buy it. Like if it was $1,000, I would have bought it because I'm so used to paying like an arm and a leg for like something that's in America is like $100 cheaper. So it's like at this
Mm-hmm.
point, yeah. The same thing with games. If games are what $69 American, then they're gonna be 79, and then that's like with tax, that's gonna be like $100 per game. So it's like okay, I might have to wait.
I don't really know. Like I'm looking at the Xbox like titles that are coming out, and like nothing like Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, there's the Ascent. There's a game called Medium. There's 2K21. All right, and then there's like Watch Dogs Legion, and then there's Halo that got like pushed back, but I've fallen off of like the Halo like
Yeah,
thing, so I
yeah,
don't know.
and I think the thing with a lot of these games too, it's like they don't really start to utilize the next gen equipment until like 2 years later. Because I've
Yeah.
even with like PlayStation 4 when that first came out, like you didn't games when that first release just looked like polished PS3 games, right? So and it's the same thing that's gonna be true with PlayStation 5. Like you're not gonna see something that's like, whoa, what am I looking at right now? Until like I don't know, maybe until they come up with like Last of Us 3 or something like that. So that's why like when it comes to early adopters, I'm more of like, okay, I'm pretty sure like I could play that on PlayStation 4 and it'll still look just as good.
Now, here's the thing, though. From me looking through this, though, I believe that Xbox advantage versus the PlayStation's advantage currently is that if you got an Xbox One, the new ones, whatever they're both of the consoles, you have more backwards compatibility of like on their Game Pass store than PlayStation does. They have tons of old games that you can just play.
Oh yeah,
from
PlayStation.
the 360 days.
Listen, PlayStation is not even utilizing half of their amazing library from like PlayStation 1 all the way to PlayStation like 3 even. Like you'd go on there, you'd think like, okay, this game was wicked when I used to play it. Like just simple games that we used to play on like PS2, like uh was it Grand Theft Auto or even Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Those aren't on PlayStation now. So it's like Xbox knows that like, okay, these are the games that were good on like 360 and stuff like that. So we're gonna put those games front and center. The games that PlayStation puts front and center are like not was it the Namco arcade collections, and I'm like, what? Why? Why do I want to play? Like, do I want to play Mixed this Pac-Man in HD? No. So it's like PlayStation. It's not even taking like think about it, Zona Saga, all these games that like people want to play, they're nowhere to be found. Breath of Fire, like. So when it comes to PlayStation now, it's just like, okay, you guys are not at the level that Game Pass is at. So it's just a take it or leave it type of thing.
I guess that's So that's like pretty much from what I can see is the advantage on the Xbox versus like there's nothing really that says oh come play this now on this console that I can see.
But even Xbox, like because we have pretty decent computers, we can play Xbox Game Pass on our computers and play the same games, right?
Which is awesome.
Yeah, which I will be planning on doing. So it's like that pretty much defeats the purpose of me getting the Xbox, anyways. Yeah. So, Kareem, any thoughts on Xbox? Kareem? Hello.
Kareem?
I wonder if he went on mute or something.
Hello?
This
Yeah.
guy.
No, that doesn't make any sense. He the whole time.
But I've been saying hello, and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, I was
No,
asking
but
about the
no,
Xbox thing.
no, nothing.
He's like, you
Nothing. Not a
feel.
single point that you would like to bring in about Xbox from
I know
from a person who
honestly,
had.
nah, nothing.
You just not.
There's no game I even want for it. Like, there's not. If I was, it just be honestly, if I was to get one, it'd just be another media center for me. And I have so much of those. I don't need one. I don't need another one. So
I
Yeah,
get
I
it.
don't.
No,
I don't.
I understand that.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure what Xbox if they even had that because I know like with the Xbox One there was like this whole it can watch TV, it can record TV. It was pretty much like a PVR, right? When it first came out, I think Xbox Series X doesn't do any of that stuff, right?
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I don't know.
I will give Xbox this one thing though. And I'm gonna say this, and I don't care. You guys can fight me on it. I'm just gonna tell you, Xbox still has the best controller. I don't care what
Oh,
anyone says.
by far,
That
yeah,
controller is bueno. Okay,
yeah.
there's no controller that is just so like right. Especially now on their new console, they finally realized to use the proper D-pad on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't use that like weird. Because on the Xbox One, they had like this janky ass D-pad that was like really bad. But now they realize that people play fighting games on their console,
Mm-hmm.
and their D-pad's like way better.
Yeah,
But they implemented that D-pad on their last controller that they upgraded, like their Pro controller or whatever. So now they realize let's just move that D-pad to like their main controller line, and good on them.
yeah.
Also,
Xbox
their
to me.
trigger is fantastic. I love their triggers. Anyway, that's just
Well, that's the thing. I was
My
gonna say like
favorite trigger will always be Dreamcast.
I don't even remember the Dreamcast how those controllers work.
I love those controllers. I found those for me. Those are one of the most comfortable controllers.
Took it back to old school Dreamcast. But PlayStation has a new controller though. So and I know it's looking more and more like the Xbox controller, but still with that
Yeah.
PlayStation type DNA. Because I think the triggers are now what do they call it? Adaptive? Like so there's resistance now. Like I think if you shoot like a gun, it should like feel like you're pulling a trigger. So
Also you can upgrade the storage super easily on the Xbox console.
oh yeah. There's like a little back thing. You just take it out. But
Yeah.
that SSD that they're using is I heard it's pretty expensive. It's not cheap.
Of course. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's like a customizable like you can't just buy any old SSD and throw it in there. It's like a specific type.
Yeah, for them, right? It's like it looks like a memory card.
Yeah. but yeah, with Xbox, it's like we'll see. It's like a wait and see. Like they have so much to prove this generation that it's pretty much an uphill battle where PlayStation is pretty much just living off of resting on its laurels. And it's just like, hey, we're PlayStation. You're gonna buy it. You know, you don't really need to like. You don't really need to wonder, is there going to be good enough games? It's like, okay, as long as those games that I want come out, Old Faithful. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Have you guys seen anything about Nintendo?
No. I haven't really been keeping up with Nintendo. Like I know that the new was it the Mario 3D? What's it called? 3D World.
3D All Stars or something like that.
Yeah. That's the only thing I'm like, okay, I might get a Switch for that because I started playing Galaxy and I have Mario Galaxy 2, right? But to set up the Wii and then set it up here in my room and all that stuff is just like such a daunting task. I'd rather just buy a whole console and just play all those games.
You know you have money when.
But I feel like it's coming with Sunshine, Mario 3D. Like I want to play Sunshine.
It's Mario 64, Sunshine, and I think Galaxy.
What about there's one called Oddworld? I think what's it called? What's the other 3D? Odyssey. I think
Odyssey is the most recent one.
Oh, so it's not on there then, right?
No, because it's already a Switch. It's already a Switch game. But here's the weird thing though about that. Nintendo's so bizarre on their business. So that 3D All Stars thing, Super Mario 64 was remastered and retextured and stuff for the 3DS. So and it looks amazing. So I don't know why they didn't just port that one to the Switch.
It's almost as if they forgot it.
Yeah, because the old one they have is like, yes, they say it's 1080p, but like you really shouldn't have 1080p for a game that's like the textures looking that kind of rough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's old. It's an old game. So it's like, why not just port the one you've already remastered? Very suspicious. It's like, do you just not want people to play the game that you've already made work on? And the DS, the DS is complete. The 3DS died, I think, in the middle of this week that just passed.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I
Never
heard about that. I heard about that.
died, being
What?
that they will not make anymore. Like you can, like they've stopped production. So so whatever stores they're currently selling it, they're not getting anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, it is
Oh.
officially now like it's dead.
You guys still
And
have your 3DSs though, right?
yeah, I love my
Yep.
3DS. It's
Okay, hold on.
fantastic. It's a fantastic handheld.
It's about to become a rare item. Then you better hold on to
Exactly.
that.
Yeah. So yeah, Nintendo's a little weird that way. I mean, I don't know what else they have that's really good that I'm excited for. I'm excited for Hyrule Warriors because that's
Yeah, it looks fire.
right.
I
That game looks great.
watched.
I think the only thing I've heard is that they are planning on having a new console, like the upgraded version of their console, maybe next year or within the year and a half or something like that.
But what do you think that
So
includes? That like is that like a PlayStation Pro type of thing, or is it like a whole new console where you can't
oh, it's
play?
like a pro. It's like a pro.
Oh,
So
okay,
it's like
okay.
it's gonna have like more battery, and supposedly it will be like they've talked
4K.
about 4K, and I'm just like, okay, there, Nintendo. You don't even. I don't know. It's a little weird. They're not even
They're
in that
trying to
kind
go
of market.
4K.
It's like they
Yeah.
just got 1080p.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like Nintendo's very, very strange on that stuff. And I know their mentality is like, oh, um, we don't. It's not really always about the graphics, but yet they
Hmm.
need to sort of kind of compete with the graphics.
Yeah, because like
Yeah,
with third-party games, like you don't want to be making a 4K, 120 frames per second game, and then it's like, all right, time to port it to the place to the Nintendo, and it's just like, okay, gotta downscale that. Okay,
Well,
turn off.
that's Mortal Kombat 11 right there. Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch is so ugly.
Oh
It's
my
so
god.
bad. It's
Yeah.
horrendous.
Wow.
is it
And
really
seeing
how
it on
bad on a scale of 1 to 10?
oh okay. I
Is
have
there
it for
even
the
blood?
there's blood. I have it. I have it for the Xbox One. It looks amazing. But Mortal Kombat has always looked good, and when you
Mhm.
see it on the new one, they definitely Xbox Mortal Kombat 10 to Mortal Kombat 11. They like did this thing where they found a way to like not make it like it's graphic, it's very very realistic, but there's a good like stylization to it that works
Mhm.
so well, and you're like, this is what Mortal Kombat should look like forever. Like from this
Mhm.
point onward, it's just added textures, but they definitely like knew how to like design the characters to look like people and better, and like this, it just looks much nicer. And
Mhm.
obviously they did all the other cool stuff with x-rays and the blood and all that stuff, but yeah, like the switch port is like, it's slower.
Wow.
It doesn't pick up, it doesn't have like really good background information, and hey, Mortal Kombat's known for having fantastic backgrounds, so it's like I
Mhm.
don't really understand why it's, because like you're just saying, what's the point if I was a game developer then, and Nintendo doesn't have that kind of hardware? What's the point of even porting it? Why do it?
Yeah.
Is it
Exactly.
just a
So
waste of my time? So
it's I guess companies are looking at money, so they'll do it. But like at the end of the day, it's
exactly.
just like you want your game to look as good as possible, right? So.
Yeah,
The only thing that I look forward to is this. I can say from Nintendo is that aside from Hyrule Warriors, um, this year is the
looks
35th anniversary of,
fantastic.
right. This year is the 35th anniversary of Mario, and
Mhm.
next year is the 30th anniversary of Zelda.
Oh, so they should be coming out with a brand new Zelda game then.
Not just that, they'll probably do the same thing where they will release. They'll do a bundle. Like they'll do the same thing they did with the Mario game. So people are thinking next year they'll have uh,
Like
Ocarina of
Orchid
Time.
Time and Majora's Mask and all that stuff, like
Maybe
remastered.
if there was three, they would probably do it. It would be like maybe Ocarina of Time, um, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword, or they would
Mm-hmm.
do Ocarina of Time, or maybe Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword. But I definitely think they'll put Ocarina of Time, because Ocarina of Time is like the game that a lot of people think of first.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, that's like a thing that people are looking forward to, that they will do a Zelda bundle next year. So look forward to that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that Nintendo is trying to compete in their own like little market where it's like handheld, but it's also a console. Whereas like Xbox and PlayStation, they're not even thinking about handhelds anymore. Like the PSP is not a thing anymore. So it's like
it's big because you know why? To be honest, I'm gonna relate this to cars in a sense, right? Because, like, for example, Dodge used to have four bangers, right? Like 4-cylinder vehicles, and they're trying to compete with Honda, right? But Honda and Toyota already dominated that. So why would you stay in a thing that's already dominated by someone else? You know what I mean?
I don't get this reference.
Okay.
This is funny because there's a podcast I listen to. There's another podcast I listen to where this guy always does connections with like basketball, and then the other person in the podcast is like, I don't know what you're talking
about. like Jason Williams, right? When he dribbles the ball.
Okay, but Chris, you understand what I'm saying, though, right? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sort of, kind of.
Okay. As we know, Dodge, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're
Viper.
known for Viper Dodge. They're known for powerful big vehicles, right? Like
the Dodge Ram.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. The Ram, the Chargers, the Challengers. That's what they're known for. So Honda is known for the small vehicles like Civics. And gas efficiency, right? So as I'm trying to say, shut up, Marvin.
Doesn't Honda make motorcycles?
They do, but like, that's not the point.
Oh, okay, sorry. Keep going.
This struggle to get this. All right, go.
But Chris, you understand what I'm trying to say? Now I'm explaining it better, right? Honda is more made for like the fuel efficiency and the long lasting whatever type of car, rather than Dodge is made for big, fast, burly cars. You get what I'm saying? So like in terms of video games now, right? Nintendo already dominated the handheld.
Yeah.
Right? From time. So like for Sony, right? Because the PSP tried to battle was it the Advance or was it the DS? I'm pretty sure it's the DS at that point. And it lost horribly.
R.I.P.
Right?
PSP.
Right? And the same thing with the Vita as well, right? It came out, tried to battle, it tried to fight the 3DS, lost horribly. Right? So like, and that's what I'm trying to say, like, stay in your own lane type thing, right? Like,
shots fired.
They make proper consoles. I'm not saying Nintendo doesn't make proper consoles; they do. But when it comes to like graphics and like wickedness, it's mostly a Sony, Xbox type of deal, not necessarily Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo's more focused on like fun and whimsy.
Yeah, fun.
Like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, wow.
Like, that's why they have their Marios and their Sonics. I guess Sonic is for all three systems, I guess. But like, but stay in your lane.
Yeah.
There was one last thing I wanted to ask about Nintendo, but I can't remember what it was. But on that note,
it's. Oh wait, sorry. Just to correct. It's the 35th anniversary for Zelda next year.
Damn.
So just like Mario, it's 35th anniversary.
Okay.
So people are looking forward to that. Oh, also they're like planning on making like another. There's a chance they're making like a Joy-Con thing. I don't know. Nintendo's a very weird console. For me, Nintendo, my Switch is like really just to like the console for me to like lounge around because I can like be anywhere and play it.
But
so I'm more of a.
I was gonna say, but it's a good thing that they're around because like Nintendo will accidentally do something wicked, like accidentally, and then PlayStation and Xbox will have to like quickly try to copy it. Like, oh, so what? That's the new thing. Like even with the Wii, like the Wii when that came out, Xbox was like, oh, quickly send out the Connect. It's right. So
Oh
it's just
yeah,
like
and that did not work properly at all.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It keeps the other competitors on their toes. So that's why I appreciate Nintendo for them like just staying in their own lane and just doing whatever they feel like they want to do, right?
Oh,
And
that's what they follow up. And that's what they followed up by saying is that they will always be. That's what they're going to constantly keep doing. They will never change. That they will always try to create some sort of tech to make to their tech will inspire their games, not the game will inspire their tech.
Oh, yeah,
Exactly.
definitely.
I know. I know. The funny thing is too, which sucks, but which also good for Nintendo in a business standpoint, is that you know how like for most like, because I feel like Nintendo might have the most IPs, I guess, or the more famous.
You mean just like throughout the years? Hello. Anybody? Oh, Cream got cut off.
He got.
No.
I think
no.
he got sent to he got sent to the Shadow Realm once again.
I banished you.
My screen turned off. So okay. That's interesting about this app. I guess every time my screen turns off,
you
or
died.
something, yeah, like I get cut off or whatever. But anyway, like I was saying, so like Nintendo has a lot of IPs. For example, Mario, Zelda, and Donkey Kong and stuff like that.
Metroid Prime.
Samus and stuff. Like the good thing about them is like that's why technically their prices never have to drop, yo. Like because if you think about it, right, no one else has those IPs, right? Because eventually stuff gets ported onto other systems or whatever. But Nintendo kept stuck with their guns, and they keep their IPs to themselves, which is smart.
Yeah,
that's why they like I guess in the war against Nintendo versus Sega. That's pretty much why they won, was because it's like like Sega had Sonic, but Nintendo had like Mario, Kirby, Donkey Kong, like all these people.
Star Fox,
and
people.
And it just came to a point now where they can literally make like Smash Brothers, and everybody's just like, oh, like PlayStation especially would like jump force. They're like, oh man, I wish I could do something like Smash Brothers, and it's just like they can't, because it's like those IPs have been there since like the original Nintendo. so yeah.
The funnier part is too, right? Like because some people just get it. Like for me, I bought my Switch specifically for Smash Bros. Okay, so like even my Wii U, I bought it before I even knew Smash Bros was coming out, and I knew it was eventually coming.
Wait, sorry, do you have Smash Bros on your Switch?
Yeah,
but you have the handheld version of the console.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have the. Yeah, I have the Lite.
So you play Smash Bros on the Lite.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, trust me when I say this. Marvin. I understand.
Yeah,
I know where you're going.
You know. If you, I don't want to like toot my own horn. You know, if you face me, and because I use the GameCube controller, I will win.
Oh yeah, for a fact. Because even with my controller, look, I have a GameCube. The funny thing is, Chris's brother. Okay, it's Chris's brother's copy I actually have. It's not really mine.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But like, I was facing him at one point at their house, and I was using the GameCube controller. Like, I'm just like, oh, this is so much better, and I'm playing on a big screen too. It's 1,000 times better than what it is playing in a handheld on my thing.
It's horrible. It is horrible, and the buttons for the Switch is horrible for Smash Bros. It's so bad.
Like, it's not at least for me. It's not terrible. Like I feel like I've played it. Like for me, using the nunchuck is worse, way worse for me. Like I could not play the Smash. I use a nunchuck controller. It's impossible, right?
I was gonna say that reminds me. Like I should have asked this question, but I guess we could circle back on it for the Xbox thing too. But what do you think is the future of like Nintendo, like 3-4 years from now? Like I know you said they're coming out with like a new a mini like upgrade to like the Switch. But what
Yeah.
do you guys want to see like in the future? Like what's your like what do you see for like Smash Brothers? Like, do you think it's just going to be like more high res Smash Brothers with more characters, or what do you think is the future of like Nintendo in that like gaming space?
Honestly, I can't lie. I hope they don't make another Smash Bros. I hope, if anything at all, this is
Just
the end of it,
keep
and
adding
this
like
I
is
think it
and,
is.
and just
I
add
don't
on.
think. I think. I think the biggest rumor, and which is definitely is. I think that is the thing because I think Sakurai, who for Smash Bros, they don't plan on making other ones. They want to like put as much they can into the Ultimate.
Yeah, because
I personally
Ultimate
think
has a ridiculous amount of stuff in it.
and
Ridiculous.
it's still going to get more characters. It's supposed to get 6 more characters just this year. So so like yeah, it's just going to keep going. I don't know what they'll ever do with and I don't know. I think Smash Bros is such a good spot. So like who knows? Who knows what's
So
going
like
to happen?
kind of like the Street Fighter 5 type of thing where I guess every fighting game is doing that now where they're like, should we make like a new one from scratch or should we just like release a character, here comes a new challenger type of thing every so often? You know, like I feel like a lot of
Yeah, I
fighting.
think because that's what Street Fighter is doing, right? Street Fighter just they're bringing out more characters for 5.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
keep releasing characters.
But I hate that, yo. Like, to be honest, what happened to the good old days? Is like, what happened to the good old days? Like, when all you had to do was play the game a bit, and you can unlock this character or whatever. Why is everything behind some sort of paywall? Like, I already spent like $100 buying this game, and now you're asking me to spend more money. I mean, I can't talk that much because I'm like kind of a hypocrite because I have bought DLC. Obviously, I'm pretty sure we all have.
Yeah.
Right? But like
Right.
at the end, but you
I
but
can't
you,
say
but
I
you
have.
said
I don't think I've ever bought DLC to be honest.
What? That's a
No.
lie. Are you
No,
serious?
I swear to God, like when I
yes,
think
you
about
have.
it,
Yes, you
what?
have. Yes, you
What did I,
have. Yes,
what
you
did I buy?
have.
What did I buy?
You bought Resident Evil 5, the DLC when they're back in the mansion.
I did.
Yes, you
Wait,
did.
are you saying personally you never bought DLC or your family like your brother? Your brother
Okay,
hasn't
like
bought DLC?
well, like say for instance, like, if I get a PlayStation card, I'll probably use it like to get some sort of expansion pack. But like if I'm playing a game and it's saying, "Oh, buy this character or pay this money to get like something right away," I've never done that. Or even bought just uh like I might have bought DLC for like Left Behind, like if there's like an expansion pack or whatever. But if there's like a character to get or like a car,
no, but that's what I'm saying though, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's DLC.
that is still DLC. Like doesn't matter if it's one character or an extra story. Point is, it's still DLC. It's still downloadable content.
but
So
I'm saying that I'd feel better. Like I'd rather pay for like a full story than just like one character. Like here,
obviously, right? Yeah. I feel you on that. Because I know for
the only place I
Spider-Man,
buy character. Yeah.
for Spider-Man, I bought the whole thing. I bought all 3 DLC stories. Like that wasn't even a question for me. Like I was doing
But
it.
that's fine because that just expands on his like on their universe versus like
but
the one thing I don't like is and I think is like okay, so my personal opinion about things like okay, I'll use Spider-Man as an example. Spider-Man would be a good target. Which I understand it is for cosmetics. Do not Spider-Man has tons of outfits, okay? And he's constantly changing and he has different costumes. If you put costumes behind paywalls, I understand where if it doesn't change it drastically and if it's cosmetic, sure. But like at least like still make it that they should have it in the game or they should update a patch or something or update the game. How I would do this. It's like, okay, I'm gonna use just like Armored Spider-Man for an example. Okay, let's just use that. And they're like, oh, Armored Spider-Man is now released for Spider-Man in the game. You can choose to pay, I don't know, let's just use a number like $4.99 or whatever to buy it on the store. Or it is now technically an unlockable thing within the game now currently. Like it wasn't there before, but it got updated where it's now in the game. But you have to do like a certain task to get it. And it can't be something easy. Like let's just say you have to work towards it. I don't know. And again, I'm just spitballing. So let me just say in an old way, it's like, oh, beat these certain amount of missions and like not take damage or something. Okay, let me just use that as an example. And oh yeah, because you didn't take this kind of damage, that means you have the armor. You know, your armor. You don't need. You can't take hits or something like that. And because of that, you've unlocked Armored Spider-Man. So, but it has to. But again, what I'm getting at is that make it something like fairly challenging.
But
But
that's all.
I agree with that.
right?
I agree with that.
But if there's a person, and there's certainly a market for this, where it's like, oh crap, I don't want to do this hard task because et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, I'll just pay for it. So that's fine.
Yeah, but-
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. If you want to sell stuff on the store, but you can't, but it's like it's too hard for people or whatnot because some people just don't have the time, or some people just don't have the patience, et cetera, and they're just not good at it. Fine, I get it. But if like for instance, Cream loves Spider-Man, and there's a challenge, Cream will take on the challenge to earn that unlockable. You know?
Rather than just pay it to get it.
Exactly. But you
So
know
I
what?
like that.
Yeah, go ahead, Kareem.
No. I was saying the perfect game. I feel like this game is perfect for this. Overwatch, perfect. They come up with new because everything.
All the cosmetics,
yeah, all the cosmetics. You could choose to pay for it if you want to. If you're not about that life, all right. But you could also just win a whole bunch of matches, level up, and you get an item box, and you can open the blah blah blah. You get your cosmetics that way too, right? But also when it comes up with new DLC, with a new character, you don't have to pay for it. It's already there. All you have to do is pay for get the cosmetics for that character if you choose to, right? Which is awesome.
I like that. That's what video games should definitely do. Like just put things. This really more so applies to, in my personal opinion, is fighting games, because fighting games have become such a really bad market where it's like, oh yeah, here's 12 characters. This game actually has 25 characters, but you can't get those characters because you need to pay for them. Versus like, oh, here's the game with 12 characters. 3 of them are unlocks by playing the story mode or whatever, and then the rest you have to buy in the future. I don't like that. Like, make it that I have to earn the character. I can earn the characters by playing the game. But if I choose to to cheap it out and just like, all right, I'll just buy them, then sure.
No, because I know Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. Oh my goodness! As a fighting game, I think I showed you a few pictures of it before, Marvin. I think.
So.
Maybe like a year ago, and with that blonde chick, you said she looks cool.
Vaguely, I only know the name because of that, because of a YouTuber. You know the one. It's like that game could flop.
Oh yeah, he's so awesome. Mighty Keith.
Yeah, like that. Like Mighty Keith does it best, where it's like because that's such a funny gag because it was supposed to be Evo, and it's like, but that game could flop. It's not even out yet.
But anyway, my point is,
those guys have Guilty Gear, right?
Yeah. System Arc. But the thing is how they did it, right? It's so dumb. So the game has a decent amount of characters, I guess, right? But you get with the cooler characters that kept coming out, there's a pack that has 6 characters. That's for $10. There's another pack with another 4 characters. That's $8. And then they got an update patch, right?
Yeah.
I think the game goes up to 2.0 or whatever. Or 3.0, the update patch costs I think $24, and it comes with 10 extra characters. I'm like, that's ridiculous. And I think 1 extra mode. But I'm like, yo, man, that's still ridiculous, yo. That's so much money. So I have to pay for the other 14 characters or so, plus the patch. And I'm just like, yo, that's stupid. I'm like, when I found that out, I'm done with this game. I'm not playing this game again.
And I don't get that. Like, I don't understand where fighting games does this, where it's like, it's not like you're getting skins. Sure, I don't care if it's a skin for a character, that's fine, you can have it as a cosmetic. But you're buying a character that has a completely different move set than other characters. It's a different way of play styles, and it's like, it should be something that I should be able to unlock in the game. And I know I'm saying this because that's what I grew up on fighting games, is that I can unlock the character no matter how hard or whatever it is. Because then if someone comes over to my house and be like, yo, you have so and so character, and then they're like, that's a little intimidating, because it's like, how good is this person that I'm about to play?
Exactly, right? For example, Shinakuma, right? Shinakuma
Yeah.
Ultra Riga, you know those missions. It takes to beat them because
You gotta be good. So like, if
you
you unlock
gotta
it,
be good.
you know that person has played a lot of that game and definitely have mastered their craft of whoever the character is, and etc. and so forth. So it's like, I don't know. It doesn't. I don't like. That's. I love fighting games, and I love how what they've become by like the look of it and the aesthetic. And I mean, I bought Mortal Kombat 11. There's a good chance I might still buy I might buy Spawn because I haven't bought the other characters in between. But
Mhm.
I might buy Spawn because I've always wanted to see Spawn fighting in a video game. But because it's Mortal Kombat 11 and I haven't played it in like months, I've just not. I've chosen not to purchase the character. But
See, for me
but
with
yeah,
Mortal Kombat games, I always wait for that to get the
the second
ultimate
update.
pack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
once
they
the
always do.
ultimate pack comes out and I get everything, cause that's what I did too for Mortal Kombat 10 for X. I
Yes.
waited for the XL. Remember when I told about the Boxing Day sale? They were selling it on PSN for like $8 for XL for everything. So I'm just like, okay,
Well,
why not, right?
it's supposed to be free.
Like,
It's supposed to be
huh?
free. When PlayStation 5 comes out, it's gonna be free.
XL
Everything, like
or 11?
pretty much. Oh no, 10 Mortal Kombat 10 might be XL, but like all of the like PlayStation's greatest hits is gonna be free when PlayStation 5 comes out.
They
So
are
like,
doing this though, which is a little interesting from what I've found out. Is that Mortal Kombat? I think Mortal. I can be again. This can change their market about this, but I think Mortal Kombat has talked about where they might not do what what we're just discussing, because they
mhm.
recently released Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, and it takes place. The story takes place after the main story. Like if you play from through
Oh
Mortal
yeah,
Kombat
yeah.
11,
Like,
and if you buy Aftermath, you can buy Aftermath as a bundle that comes with all the expansion characters. So
which
what
Yeah, I'm
they're
okay with
doing,
that.
yeah.
but
So what they're doing is they're doing exactly what you're talking about, Chris. Is that they will give you content that is extending the storyline, and you can choose to buy you can buy the storyline by itself, or you can buy the storyline with the characters if you have not purchased the new characters. So
it
that's
sounds like
good. That's better. I like that. So
yeah.
you're
Instead
just
of just getting
expanding.
characters alone.
Exactly. So you're expanding the Mortal Kombat 11 experience by, oh, here's more story, here's more cutscenes, and also, if you want, you can put more money into it and get the set of characters if you chose to not buy them as they came out for the prior month, etc. So that's like a
Mhm.
thing. I think that's good. That seems like an improvement from what I see here. But
I agree.
But the original topic, I was saying. So, what do you guys feel is the future of Nintendo? Like, what do you see it doing like 4 5 years from now in terms of like
prob-
the
probably
games?
the
Like,
same.
just pretty much the same thing that they're doing now, or do you see Nintendo changing strategy at all?
I see them doing the exact same thing because I think that they're not going to create a console to really compete with the
Hmm.
ones that are coming out this winter or this holiday break, and they're just going to create like an updated version. It's almost like Nintendo is always and has been like years behind
Hmm. Which
compared to
is
the
a
other consoles.
which is not a bad thing. Which is not a bad
No,
thing because
and this
like
is going off what Kareem was saying. Nintendo always is doing their own thing, and that's just how it is.
mhm,
They're not really competitors in my personal opinion, when it comes to the other ones.
yeah, like the
Every
con
time
the
I
con
think of the console war, I think of Xbox versus PlayStation. I don't even think of Nintendo in that battle anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Literally, when I think of Nintendo, I just think of like, oh, like games that like everybody's playing. Occasionally you'll play like most of the time, if you're gonna play like a hardcore game, you usually don't turn on your Switch, right? You usually
Yeah,
go play Call of Duty on your Xbox or your whatever. But like if you're like, oh, the new like Zelda or Mario came out, and you're gonna have like a party over. It's like somebody's like, "Yo, does anybody have a Nintendo? Does anybody have like?" That's the console you want to play when there's like a party happening.
yeah.
It's almost like that. Like it's almost like a social like engagement type of console, which to me is good. Like keep releasing Mario Party, keep releasing like games that establish what you guys are as a console. Like this is for like interactive, like you can be on the bus and play your Switch, and if you see somebody that's also playing a Switch, you guys could connect and play games together, which I'm not even sure if that actually still works like that, because it was not like their original part of their original marketing.
Hmm.
Yeah, like if you saw somebody, can you actually do that, like do like a like I guess a wireless like game. Like if I'm playing a game, like you could. I guess for Animal Crossing, I know you could do that.
Yeah, you
Right?
can do. They still use the whole like wireless connection where you don't need to use internet.
But how does that work though? Like if I'm not connected to internet, but
Yeah,
you're like beside me, how do I connect to you?
it's like a Bluetooth thing. It
Oh,
just
okay.
reads that someone else is using game data next to you, and then you just connect, which is still pretty cool. So like hopefully they do that more with tons of their games, because I know they're doing the online market, but it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? Not everyone wants to pay for subscriptions, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So I don't know, Nintendo. That's the thing. Even though their subscription is a lot less than the other competitors, it's just that like not everyone wants to pay for online. So yeah.
Yeah, I think we've gotten to the point where we didn't want to pay for online, and now it's like we pay for online for everything. Like I play online for Netflix, pay online for YouTube, pay online for this and that. So it's like, okay, if I'm not paying online, it's I'm happy, but like if I have to, it's like okay, I'm already used to it at this point, right? So they can charge if they wanted to. I don't think people would complain, but like
Yeah.
back in the day, if it was like no, you got to be online if you want to play online, everybody like screw you. We're not doing that. But the times have definitely changed.
For sure.
Okay. All right. So speaking of which, the last but not least, the PS5,
Oh, Sony.
PlayStation,
Yes.
PlayStation.
Yes.
Are you
Yes.
saying okay? Wait, hold on. This is a question for Kareem. Are you saying yes that you're telling me you're going to get the console this holiday?
There's no way.
Honestly, for my if I can for my birthday, if it's
Okay.
possible.
Because especially with the pre-orders, that whole debacle, like where they put it up and then nope, they didn't tell anybody. Even people that signed up to Sony's mail listing that was supposed to get ample notice, like we're gonna be releasing pre-orders this day. They didn't even get their emails yet. So like big like giants in the industry that were waiting for a PS5 haven't even gotten theirs yet. So it's like it's a whole screwed up thing that Sony, I guess. I don't even know if Sony screwed up because Walmart is really the one responsible for like holding out the pre-orders. So if they decided, you know what, screw it, we're just gonna start selling this stuff and start putting in pre-orders without Sony's knowledge, then they can do that because they've done that in the past before, right?
I don't know. So okay, PlayStation right now is in the same situation that like to me, unless you can correct me on this, is that like what if I bought the console? What should I look forward to on day of?
Well, you get all. Hold on, let me think about this because they haven't really showed the UI or anything like that, so we don't know nothing about that. But we know that like on launch, I think Dark Souls is gonna be there. Devil May Cry Special Edition, Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a decent lineup. Plus the ow, my ears.
Yeah, you're singing real hard. You better have your phone plugged in.
No, it's in my hand still, dog. It's in my hand.
Yeah, you want to explain to the class what happened?
Nope.
well, according to him, you can continue where it left off, so we don't have to make a part two. We could just add to the podcast. So I guess we could just start back where we left off. We're talking about what PS4, and you asked me about what was they.
No, it was PS5. No, we started talking about PS5.
Yes, PS5. Yeah. And we were asking me like, what do you get day one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so like pretty much all PlayStation's like greatest hits, like Spider-Man, and that's what I don't understand. Like they were saying Spider-Man and all this other stuff was gonna be free, right? But they're also releasing a PlayStation 5 version of Spider-Man that's $60. So I'm wondering if like the PlayStation Now is gonna give you access to like this old Spider-Man that's not really like high resolution textures and ray tracing and all that stuff, but the one that you buy like in stores or the Ultimate Edition or whatever with Miles Morales is gonna be different. So that's where the we need to know a little bit more information on that when it comes to PlayStation 5. But yeah, the launch lineup looks pretty decent. Let me see here.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing is like, Marvel's Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Mm-hmm.
You can get Horizon, Forbidden West, Ratchet and Clank, Gran
Forbidden West,
Turismo.
Forbidden West, that's the second one, right?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, that's the
Forbidden-
second Horizon.
Okay.
Then there's Gran Turismo 7.
Gran
Uh,
Turismo 7.
That-
Chris, that's a thing?
it's a thing, but I don't think it's a launch title. It's probably not coming out to like 2021. If
okay.
yeah.
So then, I guess they're just promoting other games that's going to be on here, like you're saying, like Demon Souls and EA Sports, FIFA 21, things like that, and NBA 2K21, and Resident Evil Village eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
But
lot of these ones have like, a lot of these ones are like 2021 and stuff like that.
but that's the thing. Most of these games, I guess, besides Final Fantasy 16, is not a PlayStation 5 exclusive because like Spider-Man, Miles Morales is also coming out for PS4. What's the other one? There's another game that's also Horizon Forbidden West is also coming out for PS4, so it's not a PlayStation 5 exclusive, right? So it's like a lot of these games, except for Capcom. Capcom is making Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, but that's only for PS5.
I don't know about the. Sorry, yeah.
And even though there's a Devil May Cry 5 for PC, they're not getting a special edition, and neither is PlayStation 4. But it looks like the exact same game. They're just adding Virgil and a Horde mode.
They're probably gonna make it more higher frame rate. What's the frame rate already for it for GMC 5? Is it 60?
I doubt it. I think it's probably like 30 or something like that. Just
my
like
personal opinion about the new, like, I don't know if people should get it like day one.
no,
Well,
definitely not. You never get
And when I mean
anything.
day one, I mean like I don't even think people should really get it in the first like if I was to tell everyone to get a PlayStation 5 right now, I would say wait till like I don't know, March, April of next year. Give it some time.
Yeah, because when did you buy your Xbox One? You didn't buy it like day one, did you?
No, I didn't even know really. I would say obviously a lot of the times the incentive to like get a console, there should obviously be a really big reason on why you should get it. Of course, not just buying the console; it should be something else to it. Like for instance, I got an Xbox One because my friends and I were going to play Destiny, and Destiny was on that console. So we're like, let's play together on that console. So that was the only reason. Otherwise, I'd probably not have the console at all. Or I probably would have. I might have just gotten Destiny, but on PlayStation 4, because I would be playing by myself. But because I was playing with my friends, and we all went to Xbox, that's the only reason. So it's like for me, when it comes to PlayStation 5, I might know like 2 people that might have made a pre-order, but it's like you're pre-ordering the console just to have the console, and that's it.
Yeah, because like I know with PlayStation 4, it came out in was it 2014, right? I didn't get mine till about like 2015, and even then, the only reason why I got it was because like
because you worked at Walmart.
Yeah, I was working at Walmart, and I got a discount from Walmart plus it was Black Friday. So like my discount plus the Black Friday, I bought 2 PlayStations for the price of one, pretty much. So
also,
like,
I don't like the. I personally don't like. I wish they had an alternative color. I wish they had a black and white one.
I think they do. Like I don't like. I've been hearing like there's pictures of a black one, and some people are saying that the little case that it comes in is removable, and you could put like any color on it. They just haven't said that yet. So.
All right, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah. You already know mine would be red and black.
Yeah, for sure.
It's already the tip, yo.
If it looks like Miles Morales, I'm in.
All right, they have a special edition Miles Morales game.
But there's only one game.
Crazy. Huh?
There's only one game I really want for PS thing. To be honest.
For PS5.
Yeah, one game. Marvin, you should know what it is already.
I don't know. Devil May Cry?
No, actually, it's actually not Devil May Cry.
Final Fantasy
16?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 6. Marvin, tell me that doesn't look fire.
But Kareem,
it does look fire.
Kareem, My question to you: have you beaten 15?
No, but listen.
We came back to that.
Hold on. To be fair though, does 15 play like it's Devil May Cry? No, it does not.
But that's the thing. You're only looking at Final Fantasy 16. It could play the exact same way as Devil May. I mean, as Final Fantasy 15, right? We don't know.
It just isn't gonna look. Well, let's put it this way: 15 is that game 16. If that's how it looks, and that's how it's so much more fast paced than 15 is.
Because I think
hot take here. Hot take. I don't like that. Okay,
don't like
What?
I don't want it to be like Devil May Cry, but that's what it's going to be, and I don't like that.
I love it.
I don't.
Cause
Yeah, and that's the thing. Cream likes Devil May Cry, and I appreciate Devil May Cry from afar. I don't like Devil May Cry.
Mm-hmm. But did you play Final Fantasy 7 Part 2?
I like
or
so
part whatever it's for the remake.
I think I appreciate that battle system a little bit better. And it's not because so some of the rumors that people are saying is that like you would have a different, because they're thinking that there's you can get summons within you, and based on the summon you have on you that current moment, your loadout is different, so you'll be doing different moves. Because if you look at the trailer, there's a part where he does an attack and like a phoenix wing comes out. So he will have so that's like a button. That's the button combinations to be like the Phoenix battle. Let's say battle commands, right? And then you can have different battle commands based on different things. So there's probably you can get good at being this one or whatever. I don't know. Sure, fine. I get it. I understand that they're targeting this more action oriented. No, they're targeting more of an action oriented. But
to be fair though, right? Isn't that what Kingdom Hearts is? Like Kingdom Hearts kind of plays a Devil May Cry if you think about it. It's a button masher. So,
but with better combinations. At least with Kingdom Hearts, it's still I can really just spam one thing. There's a couple things that are a little harder, but
this is true,
right? I will. And Cream has showed me Devil May Cry's. You showed me back in DMC3. There are things that are way more complicated and way more into if you want to get good at DMC, there's way better things. Right, to be real good at the game. The game has people
everything.
That's why when people were like, "Oh yeah, Devil May Cry is a hack and slash," I was like, "You think so?" But if you go look at the command list and learn how to play the game properly, there's a technicality to it that is not it's not just for you can be casual playing it, but you'll just get by. But if you want to be a good person that plays Devil May Cry and utilize and be good at it, then yeah, you got to learn. So
because to be honest, Devil May Cry 5, I didn't even sit down and learn anything in it, to be honest, weirdly enough. I didn't I learned the new moves, but I only learned the new moves to help me I wasn't doing it to be cool. I was doing it for more convenience. You know what I mean? So it was, I don't know,
it looks good. Final Fantasy 16 looks great. I mean, I'm excited because a lot of the same team that's working on it is from Final Fantasy 12 and Final Fantasy 14, and I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 currently, and Final Fantasy 12 is one of my favorites. So it's that's good, but yeah.
It almost reminds me of the remakes, because are you guys sure it's not the same battle system as the remakes? Because the remakes are kind of fast paced too.
True, but it's I don't think the same team is on it. They'll probably take things from it, but they're definitely going to go even more action.
Oh yeah.
But my main thing is, I hope you're not just one character throughout the whole game. That's one thing.
No, they won't do that.
Because that's all they showed, right?
Yeah,
usually they at least show at least one other character or whatever that you get on your team.
Well, here's the thing. The only reason I'm debunking that is because a lot of people were saying that, being like, "Oh, it's only going to be one character. That sucks," or hopefully it's not. But keep in mind that when this is a long time ago, when Final Fantasy 13 trailer first came out, it only showed lightning. It didn't show anything else.
Yeah,
that's true.
So, and also think about back in 1997 or something. Probably when I don't know, if I go find an old trailer to Final Fantasy 7, they probably just had a lot of the clips of Cloud jumping off of the train. You probably would have just assumed the game was just Cloud, not knowing nothing about who else is going to be in the game.
Yeah,
so,
I'm hoping you're right, because that's kind of gonna suck if it's just one. Because that's one thing I like about Final Fantasy, and Marvin, I think you're gonna agree with me with this. If it's the diverse characters that you get in It's a
Yeah, for
different
sure.
diverse characters that you get in each Final
Also, some
Fantasy.
people
Right?
are saying it's crossplay. If it was, and it might explain because some people are also worried about the graphics, being that the graphics don't look really that amazing. I don't
They
know. There's
look
a
good.
lot of things. They look fine, but someone put like screenshots of like Final Fantasy 13, and I forgot how amazing Final Fantasy 13 actually does look.
Oh
But
yeah, when that first
anyway,
came out.
yeah. So I don't know. There's like rumors. There's some rumors are saying it's crossplay, where it's like that's the reason why you don't see other characters because other people are controlling them. So it's kind of like playing Final Fantasy 15, but everyone's controlling a person to fight an enemy, which is kind of cool. So then, like for instance, I don't know. My theory is that Cream's loadout is using Phoenix. Chris's loadout is using Ifrit, and if my loadout is using like Leviathan, and we're like, you're using that stuff in combat together, and I don't know, team up or whatnot. But again, these are all so far out. Yeah, speculation. Plus, this game will probably not come out. They're going to show a couple things coming up soon, and then it's so far from now. What people need to. I love the discussion that people are having about Final Fantasy 16, but people need to realize that the only reason why they really showed it is just to let the audience know that, like, guess what, we're working on the next Final Fantasy game. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, not like, oh, it's coming soon or anytime that you can fathom, but like, yeah, we're working on it.
Because there would have been tons of articles after that PlayStation showcase being like, "What? Oh, Square Enix didn't show a single thing," and everyone would just like rat on Square Enix for like a whole 2 years.
Yeah.
Versus, hey, guess what? We showed you guys a teaser for this game that we're working on, so here you go. Go talk about it.
And then they should know they've done that with Final Fantasy. What was it? Versus which one was it where it never got released and they're like showing like
versus 13.
Yeah.
And it became 15. And it became 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they got to show something at least that way, keep the fans, relatively happy.
Yeah, I'm just excited to know that they're making one. I'm totally cool, because I just wanted to know, like, oh, are they making a 16? Is 16 actually a thing? Guess what? It is. That's cool. I know now. I'll look forward to it in the future, and whenever that happens, it happens. I have patience. I know there's tons of stuff to play leading up to that and etc. But yeah, man, it looks good. And also, yeah, I'm totally excited for like more information about it, like anyone else, right?
Well, how do you guys feel about the Resident Evil 8 though?
Actually, weirdly enough, I have not. Well, the Village, I've not seen the trailer for it.
Which is
odd.
Which is odd because you're like the biggest Resident Evil fan. You have like every single Resident Evil, even the garbage ones. It's like
what garbage ones? Which ones?
6.
Yo, I like 6, yo. Okay, that's a discussion for a different time, yo. That's a discussion for a different time.
Well, that's the thing. That just shows how much of a fan you are of the franchise, because it's almost like you can tolerate them in general. Versus some people are like kind of about the new one, because it's like different, because it's like they're almost going in a Silent Hill direction.
Yeah.
But then some people don't like that. Some people want it to be like, people are saying that if Resident Evil was to make a new game, they want it to be like the Resident Evil 2 remake. Do that.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying like, yeah, if you want everything to be like proper, make it like Resident Evil 2 or make it like back like the Resident Evil 4 or whatever.
Well, Resident Evil 4. Yeah.
Well, I think that's the next remake they're working on, the Resident Evil 4 remake.
Exactly. And a lot of people are actually very mad about that. Everyone's like, yo, that's a perfect game. Why are they messing with it?
Oh, I think they'll probably just change the assets. I don't think they're gonna change the story or anything like that. Just update it.
Yeah.
For like,
they're just gonna make it look super realistic. Leon's hair is just gonna get so textured, you're gonna be like, what? I can actually touch it.
Exactly. I don't think they'll change the story. Yeah. They might take out like some puzzles, because I think that's what they did in Resident Evil 3, right? Like it was a shorter game because they took out a lot of the puzzles.
That's another podcast in itself, yo.
But yeah, like I don't know. When it comes to I guess consoles as a whole, I feel like just like wait it out a little bit. But the games look good. I'm excited.
Yeah, they also showed God of War, the new one, Ragnarok. Just the title. So people are kind of confused because it said 2021, and they're like 2021. Like God of War just came out like what, a couple years ago, and usually it takes like maybe 5 or so years. So they're wondering either PlayStation 5 is really super easy to develop for, that you can just spit out like another Horizon, another God of War, or these are just like DLC type of 10-hour type games that they're going to charge like, full price for.
So I hope not. That would kill the gaming industry. That would kill it.
Think of it like this. a really good example that I always will use is it's just easier for them to make the next one to it because they have so many assets already.
Yeah.
Because it's like Breath of the Wild 2. Breath of the Wild 2 is just going to use so much of the stuff from Breath of the Wild 1. They're not making a new game. I mean, they are making a new game. It's just that they already have things already created. It's not like you have to remake the game from the ground up. So God of War is already established. They have their world. They have their textures. They're going to make things look nicer probably. And they have their combat system already. They don't have to work out new things. So they're just going to take it from there and expand.
To build an engine from the ground up, that's usually where most of the time goes when they're making a new game, right, for a new generation. So I guess it would make sense for them to just be like, okay, let's just update the old engine and just move on from there.
So, I think for sure.
They did this.
For sure
they did the same thing for Uncharted. Like for Uncharted 4, they created a whole new engine from the ground up. Like it was way better looking than the ones for PS3. Like that was noticeable. But when they made Last of Us 2, they used the same engine from Uncharted, but just added pretty much more like density of like textures and stuff like that. So it's pretty much the same game, but like with a different tone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're probably doing that for God of War, and I'm not mad at that.
No, and that's really cool to see that they're making there because because it was at the end of the first one they hinted at the second one because they get into like they get to I've only watched stuff. It's that like, don't you fight Thor's brother? You fight like you start to get closer to that family.
Yeah,
people are like, oh damn, you're gonna get to face Odin.
Because I think how they set up is like you're fighting like Thor's sons, right?
Yes.
And then I guess like Thor is hinted at the end, right? If you play like the unlockable parts, like he's hinted at, and you kind of see him like a glimpse, and then that's where it just cuts, Soprano style, like a hard cut. But so then they're saying if the next game is Ragnarok, and then to me Ragnarok means that like, okay, now we're getting into deep, thick, of things where like you're gonna see Odin, you're gonna see Thor, you're gonna see like pretty much all the main players. In this game, you never really saw Odin or Thor, right? Mm-hmm. So I my best guess is that like if they're gonna make another game, they can't do a half measure. It can't be like a little like Left Behind DLC. Like it has to be like a full type of story where we're like really satisfied. Like, okay, this was God of War 2. It doesn't really make sense to have like a little like another teaser. They fight for a bit, but nothing really happens. This is just like just testing the waters type of thing.
Yeah. Oh, Kratos, what a cool dude! absolute god killer. Just killing gods all. Oh, he's just really taking them all out.
Well, is there any games that wasn't like announced that you guys are looking forward to for PlayStation?
To be honest, the games that I will always be. This is as a whole, okay, for all consoles in a way. Breath of the Wild 2, because I still want to see more of. But I heard Nintendo had the thing saying the game is in development because they talked about it just like 2 weeks ago or a month ago, saying like, yeah, we're working on it. It's just the team's behind it. But meanwhile, here's Hyrule Warriors. That's cool. Final Fantasy 16 got announced, which is dope. So that's good. Resident Evil for the Resident Evil.
Hold on, is that console exclusive?
Time.
16?
I think it's
Resident
time.
Evil.
Resident Evil? 16.
No, he said
Final
Fantasy 16. I think it's exclusive for PlayStation for a bit, and then it'll eventually come to like PC and Xbox.
Yeah. PlayStation, they're getting all these exclusives, because they did that same thing with Spider-Man in the Marvel game. They're like, oh, you can only play it on thing. So technically,
I think this is my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory is that Capcom is secretly working on a Darkstalkers game to really break the fighting market, to bring out, so like everyone's like, Street Fighter's just there, it's just doing its thing, but they're gonna drop a game that's gonna be like, everyone's like, what? And then Evo is gonna change. That's just my fun fact, but this is probably not going to happen. That's just because I want Darkstalkers to come back.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what can Capcom even do right now to like redeem their good name? Because other than Devil May Cry, I don't even know what type of like game I'm looking forward to from them in terms of like what they're releasing.
I guess they would have to like if they I don't know maybe reboot the Street Fighter series, but I don't know. This is I don't
But
know, man.
they tried
How
that
you
so many times.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris.
how do you even reboot Street Fighter? That's my question.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe not. I guess because since they're just constantly just releasing new characters for 5, maybe they're just gonna make 5 their like that's the game. But like I don't know. Does that get
Five.
outdated at some point? Are people just gonna be bored and like be like, well, why am I still playing this? So
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe they'll do like a reboot thing because maybe they'll do what Mortal Kombat 11 is doing. Because Mortal Kombat 11, have you guys played it?
No, I've never played 11.
The story, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but the story is pretty much just like you go back in time to to like the second tournament, and that's the reason why it's called Mortal Kombat 11 with 2 lines because it looks
Mhm.
like Mortal Kombat
Oh,
2,
2. Oh.
Uh,
right? And Mortal
Mhm.
Kombat 2 is like the tournament after like Kung Lao is dead, and because Kung Lao wins the first Mortal Kombat, and Liu Kang wins the second one. So it's like you go back to that world that which more people know about, and like Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung return and all those things. So it's like that's you're like, oh my god, I'm reliving that stuff from when I was like young,
Mhm.
that world. So what I'm getting at is maybe Street Fighter will do the same thing where they'll like do the whole world tournament thing all over again, leading up to Big Bad Bison. But that would
I
just be
don't.
in a way people, yeah, and that's just them kind of copying Mortal Kombat.
But that's the thing. I doubt Capcom is that like um to their ear to like the what the consumers want, that they'll even do that, because it seems to me that they're like just trying anything and seeing if it sticks. They're like, okay, let's try this. You guys like Akuma, right? Like honestly, all they have to do is just make Marvel. What was the game? SNK versus Capcom 3. Now literally be like, okay,
but that's
just
not up to. But that's the thing, though. That's not up to them alone, right?
yeah, they'd
That's
have
Yeah.
the SNK and stuff like that. But even with their
yeah.
Marvel game, it's like they released a new Marvel one. It's like nowhere near as good as the original Marvel vs. Capcom, or even like the 1, 2, and 3. Right?
Yeah.
Marvel Infinite was like the worst of the Marvel games. So it's like, come on, you guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
they've lost their touch.
oh, I played the story Marvel Infinite, and my god, my god, my god. That's all I'm gonna keep saying.
So yeah, I don't know what else to really look forward to. I'm more so just like watching things from like, oh wow, what's what's new, what's gonna come out, what kind of new tech are these things introducing, because it's like that's really what we're kind of into now.
Yeah. So Kareem, anything about you? Like any specific games? I know you said you're excited for like Final Fantasy and stuff like that, but like besides that, like, you know,
Spider-Man.
besides the games that are gonna be released, I'm talking about like 3-4 years in PlayStation's future. Like, is there any game that you're like, oh, hopefully they continue like, with this franchise or something?
Yeah. Like, what are you playing now?
Spider-Man would be nice. Another Spider-Man game, to be honest. Spider-Man 2.
This guy.
Okay, so a sequel to Peter Parker.
But that's the thing. It's just like a sequel. Okay, because I think, oh, I guess this is spoilers. But remember, they left off with like, what was it? Hobgoblin with like in the Venom costume or something like that.
No, Harry Osborn was left in the because Harry Osborn has cancer, I think, or something like that, and his dad is trying to fix it.
But then
or
wasn't.
whatever.
But didn't they show like the Venom costume? Like it was wrapped up in the Venom costume.
Yeah, because his dad has him in some cryogenic thing,
Yeah.
trying to help him, right? So I don't know where they're gonna go with that. To be honest, I hope something wicked though.
But that's the thing.
So,
Is
yeah,
like they can do so much stuff. Like if they can somehow impart Miles in there with Venom, plus like because Spider-Man right now is really taking off, especially the Venom movie where they're gonna show Carnage, and I don't know if they're gonna. Hopefully they call it Maximum Carnage. That would just seal the deal for me.
Yeah.
But like Spider-Man is really, they need to like really capitalize on that and start to make like an amazing story. But yeah, I think for me personally, what I might be looking forward to, even though I haven't played it, like I know like Persona, hopefully those games continue. They continue to make those games, and even with remakes, because I know Bluepoint is making the Demon Souls games, but
yeah,
they're coming up with a new one. supposedly. That game supposedly looks amazing.
Yeah, Demon Souls 3. I think it's supposed to be a launch title for PS5. But I'm hoping that like they start to remake some of the old like PS2 classics like I was watching the documentary for the original God of War, and they were talking about God of War 2. And there was a point where PlayStation 3 was out, but God of War 2 still was like the best looking game. And I'm like, yeah, like that was a PS2 game, and then people were comparing it to like, oh, it looks like a PS3 game. So I'm like, if you just take that and it had an amazing story, had everything, just re-release those 1 and 2 with like, some nice graphics, easier controls and stuff like that. And then that's another thing that hopefully they continue more of. That and VR. Hopefully PlayStation focuses on VR because I have my little PSVR here and the games are kind of lacking.
So yeah, no, I'm on board. Here's hoping that the game market is good. There's a lot of cool things that they're like doing. So
the game market can be better, but it can also be way worse. So that's how I see it.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. That's just.
I don't know. I live my life over on PC, so I'm just gonna keep doing that.
Hey. Same here.
Hey, Marvin, I'm saying it, Marvin. Ready for this one? Ready for this one?
What?
Another Infamous. I'm saying it.
Another
good one.
But what are they making now? Haven't they moved on? Who makes Infamous? Sucker Punch?
Yeah, Sucker Punch is they did Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, so I think that's a pretty big title. So I think they're done with Infamous.
Infamous is done. Sorry, Kareem.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna move on to Ghost of Tsushima because they even talked about making a sequel to that. They're more interested in making that because I think that was the best-selling new IP of this. Yeah. So
also, Infamous came on at a time where, and to to wrap this up in a way, Infamous came on at a time where superhero games were like fine. Now superhero games are like way better because when Infamous was out, like Arkham series wasn't even like a thing yet. Or wasn't as big.
That's true.
And then that became huge. And then look now, Spider-Man is like king. So I think Spider-Man's really holding that crown right now for a good while.
I don't know if Spider-Man's I wouldn't know if Spider-Man's the best one. Actually, what am I saying? He's my favorite game.
Why would you say Spider-Man's not the best one? It's open. It's huge. The game looks great. The fighting's fantastic. I don't really think there's a problem.
I feel like Spider-Man is the standard. Like, if you're gonna make an open world game, people be like, okay, but is it as good as Spider-Man though? And I think that's what everybody always like compares it to now. Because even the Arkham games, right? Like they make those, but I think in the new one, Batman's not even in it.
Yeah, they're trying to do like a multiplayer thing.
Yeah,
but that game does look fantastic.
Yeah, hopefully it comes out for PS5 and is like the best looking version of that game.
I hope because I think it's only I don't know. I'm hearing something that's 2 players, but some people are saying it's 4 players because especially since it's all 4 characters. So that is something that if we all had a PlayStation 5 and we all play together, I would be on board because everyone gets to choose their like.
Well, I'm Damien, so I already called dibs.
Is Damien even in it?
Yeah, he's in it.
He's Robin.
Wait, no, hold on. There's Batgirl.
Yeah, Barbara.
Yeah,
and then
Dick.
And
Jason Todd.
Yeah, and
Tim. And Tim's in it, but that's it.
It's Tim. Are you Damien? Are you sure it's not?
I think it's Tim. I don't think Damien's in it. Damien is. No, because I swear in the trailer I can be wrong, but I don't think it's Damien. It's Tim. Tim Drake is important.
Even if he's DLC, that's my character. I just call dibs from now. Eternal dibs.
Whichever Robin it is, I don't really care. just know that he's mine.
Yeah.
That's what Chris is saying.
Wait, what? Which Robin?
He's like Chris called Eternal dibs, right? So he's like, doesn't matter if he's DLC or not, just know he calls dibs.
Oh yeah, players assume the role of Batman's former protégés. There's Dick Grayson, Nightwing, Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, Tim Drake, Robin, and Jason Todd.
Oh, no Damien, huh?
But because Damien might be part of the storyline.
Oh, okay. Well, then they're probably saving him for DLC because he's just that wicked.
And he has a hoodie. He has a hoodie attached to his cape, yo. That's sick. I can't lie.
That's just a Tim Drake thing. They copied that from him.
Oh, he had a hoodie on his thing?
Yeah, Tim. Do you even remember Arkham City?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they
That
just
was
copied it from him.
fire.
Tim Drake is my favorite one. Tim Drake, I think, is the coolest because his I think he uses the staff the best. Anyway, that's just
My favorite.
that's me.
You already know who my favorite is. This is not even a joke. This is not even a question.
Is it Nightwing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because his acrobatic skills are like he's like a ninja.
It's like, no, you can be
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze.
So that's what's so cool. Just to wrap it up quickly, is like that's what's so wicked that each character is gonna have their own play style, right? You've got Nightwing with the acrobatic stuff. Tim Drake will have more technical. Tim Drake will be almost like you're playing as Batman because it's more tech heavy. Because he's like he's like the detective prodigy, and then Batgirl is like a combination of both in a way, and then or whatnot.
I think Batgirl is stealth. The stealth parts of.
And what's his name? And then Red Hood is like he's got guns.
He's just a brawler. He's the fighter.
Yeah,
just going guns blazing. Okay, well, on that note, I think we
goodbye.
Good old. You're not gonna do one of your patented outros, your little
classic Kareem.
Yeah.
No.
It's like,
no. He's not hype. He's not hype anymore.
It's like when you feel the vibe again. All right, guys, that's been another episode of MKC, and we'll
for sure make more. We'll be back. We'll know what we'll talk about next time. We'll probably talk about a movie. We'll probably talk about more video games. Who knows what we do? We don't even know what we do.
Actually, that was all a video games thing still as.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, we'll dabble into whatever we feel like it. All right, that's been another episode. Peace.
Easy.